stories. Sorry. I am going to read a scary story since it's coming up to Halloween, and this one is called Humans Can Link To. My great-grandmother lived alone up in the mountains at her cabin. Her husband had died, so she was there all alone. She only had one companion, and that was her loving dog. They both loved each other very much, and the dog loved her and comforted her. Every night when she went to bed, the dog would lick her hand to let her know he was there to protect her. One night she had gone to bed, and the dog licked her hand like he had done routinely every night since her husband had died. But this night was different. She'd woken up in the middle of the night because she heard her dog whimpering. She wanted to comfort him and let her know she was there for him, so she stuck her hand out by the bed and she felt the dog gently lick her hand like always. She figured he was just cold, so she went back to sleep. The dog's whimpering had woken her up a second time in the night, so she stuck her hand out. The dog licked it and she went back to sleep. This happened a third time, and she stuck her hand out, and the dog stopped whimpering and came and licked her hand. She stayed awake for a few moments afterwards, and the dog had stopped whimpering. She went back to sleep again. In the morning, she woke up and stuck her hand out by the bed, and nothing licked her hand. She thought that the dog had already awakened and just went into the front room. She rolled over and got out of the bed and heard a drip, 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 drip. So she walked into the kitchen and turned the handles on the sink faucet, but it wasn't dripping. She continued into her bathroom to take a shower. As she walked in, the drips got louder. She turned and looked above the bathtub and screamed. There, hanging from the light by his tail, was a loving companion with his blood dripping into the bathtub. She screamed and began to cry. Wiping her eyes and sobbing, she turned around and looked at the mirror. In the mirror, she saw the dog hanging, and written on the mirror with a finger and her dog's blood, with drips and streaks hanging down from each letter, were the words, "Humans can link to." So that's the first one. Let's see what else. I love horror stories. I always used to love being at school and like my friends used to tell great horror stories, and I had one friend in particular whose mum was excellent at horror stories, and it was just always so good to hear of them, and it used to really scare us. Okay, so this one is Dangerous Ouija Board Spirits. It was days before Halloween, the year of 1968. You could just feel the creepiness in the air. Being 11 years old, Halloween was still fun, if not more fun the year before, because I was allowed to stay out a bit later without the watchful eye of my parents. bit spunky with no adult supervision and got bored quickly with the house empty. My sister Bonnie was a tomboy, always looking out for bugs, rodents, stray dogs and birds that fell out of their nest, hoping to bring them home to make as a pet. My father never let her keep anything, so they did not get along too well. My mother was a sucker for Bonnie's impulses. She always let her keep her finds, but they had to be well hidden up from my dad, because if he found them, he would make or set them free and yell at her, because it wasn't going to pay to feed any animal, well except his small dog baby. Halloween was in the air. Things seemed more spooky with the sky gone dark. People's houses were decorated with its scary pumpkin faces on their stairs and sheets hanging from on top of the porches, made to look like ghosts blowing in the wind. It was too early to settle down and watch TV. Besides, no one in the house to give us directions on what to do. So being kids, we decided to take full advantage of the situation and go run around outside. My mother was 5 doors up, so we did a sneak peek through the house she was in, spying on her and listening to her conversations through the mailbox in the door. Slowly we would lift it up and could see them talking, sitting on the sofa with their cocktails and yakking. We couldn't hear much, and what we heard was boring, so we took off back down the street, running and giggling about being able to spy on our mother and her friend. All of a sudden, Bonnie came to a halt. Out of the corner of her eye, she spotted something dark flapping around on another neighbour's lawn. She gasped, "Linda, look at this. What is it?" I said back. Her voice had excitement as she came closer for inspection. I could hear her gasp again, saying, "Oh my God, I think it's a bat." She was all too excited with her find. A bat? I thought how spooky to find one days before Halloween. I knew the stories about rabies and bats, so I was cautious about approaching any closer and allowing Bonnie to do what she does best, which is rescuing hurt, weird animals. She called out with urgency, "Go get something I can put it in." I said back, "Like what?" I didn't want to go looking around for something on an errand for her. "Go get a bucket or something I can use, something with a lid or some sort of top, and would you hurry up?" she said loudly back to me. I took off running across the street to her house, looking frantically for something to put the stupid bat in. I was really more excited than I let on. Finding a bat at Halloween time, what were the chances and what possibly could it mean? It was an eerie, weird feeling I had inside. Frantically looking around, I finally came on an old Halloween bucket that we had used last year. It was fretted from leaving it out in the sun all year, and closely resembled a fake, dirty ice cream container. Bonnie kept her turtle in this container until it died. This will have to do, I thought. I snatched it up and came running back to where Bonnie was. She quickly snatched it away from me, taking the lid from the bucket. She put the bucket upside down on top of the bat, and then the lid she scooted it inside, quickly flipping it over and securing the lid on. She stood up with a grin as wide as one of the pumpkins on one of the porches we were near. She could not be happier with her odd pet. We both ran back home wanting to see it in some light. Bonnie commented on the way she wanted to bring it to school the next day to show everyone. I was afraid of it. I worried, but not letting on to Bonnie how scared I was. I thought, could I get it in her house and then we would have a bat, something visit in the house. I was out of breath and panting when my mother said, "Sorry, Nancy, but I guess I better go and see what the hell is going on over there." I think the reason why my mother always sided with Bonnie when it came to her strange obsession with creatures is because she was once like how Bonnie is now. She seemed to be just as excited as Bonnie was. On our walk home down the street, my mother said something that sort of scared me and made my mind start thinking. She said, "Finding a bat just before Halloween, this must be an omen." Was an omen? Why did she look funny when she said it? I remember that word from scary movies like Rosemary's Baby and others. All I knew, it wasn't a good term used every day. My mother was always saying things to scare me. She wasn't like other mothers I knew. She had certain psychic powers of sorts. She would always have dreams that came true, and not to mention all the times I tried to lie to her, and she would wake up the next day telling me what her dreams told her, and how she knew I lied because of her dreams. She had always been in the occults. Her mother, likewise, raised all her children to believe in them too. My grandmother used to conduct seances with my mother and her twin sister. She used to scare me with her stories. The scariest story she ever told me was when she was sleeping one night after she was married and woke up all of a sudden and saw a woman standing at the foot of her bed. The woman was dressed like someone from the Victorian era, with a long empire dress on and dark brown hair and a Gibson-style bun on top of her head. It scared my mother so bad that it went away. The next morning she called her mother and told her what happened and described the woman to my grandmother, and she said, "From the way you described her, I think you saw my mother. She was probably trying to tell you something, so next time she comes, you don't be afraid. Just listen to her and what she has to say. It must